Hi, ladies. Julie Cianciante here with Fierce, Faithful, Fabulous.
Guess who's back?
Wait.
Back
no,
again.
No. We said we wasn't going to do that. We going to come back like we never left.
Oh, yeah, that's right. They don't need to know. It's been like over a year.
That's my year?
Girl, it's been more than a year. I think it was a year in July.
Oh, my God.
Guess who's back?
Regardless, guys, we're back and we're ready to rock and roll.
What was that?
It is what it is.
Why settle for less when you know you're a queen?
So have you ever just been, focused and living your life and doing all these awesome things, really trying to focus on God, and then it's just like, okay, God, I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, or maybe I'm halfway doing what I'm supposed to be doing, depending on what life is doing. But it's just like, God, what is your time schedule?
Right,
my time and your time, they're just not matching up, because I thought things were supposed to be happening by now, and God is like, keep waiting. Hold on, I got you, I got it. And you was like, but God, I want it now though.
Right.
I want it though, right now.
Like, that's all well and dandy, and your timing is perfect,
Right.
and all,
That's what they say, but I feel a little.
Listen, I mean,
It's taking a little longer than I had hoped.
right? I mean, listen. God, I know that you said that you got this awesome man of God that's just that you have for me that's like right there. But listen, this fine brother just hopped up in my DM though today.
Right. Or whatever you talking about it, because the one in the DMs that's not him. It's not like that's the one guy showing you. It's like it's obvious it's not him because you asked him about Jesus.
Is it obvious?
It's obvious. It's obvious.
I feel like they're a little tricky these days.
It's some of them. Okay, some of them, yes, they come in, but no, I feel like they always give they stuff away. It's just that because we want it though, or whatever it is, we want him, we want marriage, we want love, all these things.
We make
we go
it
ahead
look
and
like it. We go and dress it up a little bit. Like, okay, this is what you're really supposed to look like. So I'm gonna go on and attach
I'm gonna make this fit,
and I'm gonna put this on you, and you still the same person.
Yeah,
that's not for me. But
right.
You at least right now you look like it.
Those times where like you ain't trying to dress him up, it's not it.
Yeah,
and you like, all right, Lord, hold on.
Right. Let's put a pin in that.
Right.
We're gonna put a pin right there on purpose, and I'm gonna go
do whatever. I'm gonna go eat all the food, like
all the food.
All the food. Yes, I'm gonna eat what I want and not really pay attention and care, but I'm gonna complain still though. I'm gonna complain. I'm gonna do that because I want to eat,
right?
And I want to be fit at the same time, but I want to eat more, and I'm gonna complain that I'm not fit.
Like, we want to do these things right now. Like, we want to have that man right now. Not even just have that man. We just want to have that companionship. We want somebody to love us. Okay, and sex.
I was like, no, leave it.
We want those things like right now. Why? What is the real reason why we want some of those things? And I know for me personally, like, social media is like a big thing. You got these insta love, like where they look like perfect and lovey dovey and all this other kind of stuff. And it's just like, I want that. Like, I want that today. Like, why am I waiting? Especially, okay, this is my thing. Especially when, like, you see so many people getting in and out of relationships, not even just relationships, but whole marriages, and then getting back in a whole nother marriage, like, within 2 months. So it's just like, God, I'm still just chilling here. And so it's just like, am I doing something wrong? Maybe instead of me waiting, because, like, I'm waiting for God, maybe I just need to go out and do it myself.
Yeah. I think, too, a part of the problem is not the desire wanting to have it, because I don't want nobody to think that because you want a man or sex or whatever, that means that you ain't where you're supposed to be. But for us, we know that we're waiting on God to do a work in us,
right?
And it's something that He needs to do in us, and I think that's what we lose focus of. Is like, all right, I don't want to do the work. I just want to get to the end goal. I want to get to that thing, and instead of doing that work, because I know for me, yes, I want to be married and all those awesome things, but I know that too, in my single life, there's things that I want to accomplish that I know God has placed on my heart for me to do. And but I'm trying to skip that because I'm like, God, it's taking all these years. I don't want, forget it. I know I said I wanted to write this book or whatever, but no, skip that. Skip that. Skip that whole thing I said.
Just bring my boo. Let's keep it going. Like, I can write it with us together.
Right.
After we didn't have sex.
Right. I'll do what every other single counselor does. They're married. And then they come tell you how to live it. And they wasn't really living that life when they were single. Or they started like 1 month and then 2 months later they got married. Like they was never content when they in singleness until like the month that they stopped thinking about it. And then the Lord went ahead and sent their spouse. Well, let me just do like that then. I'm not thinking about it no more. Jesus gonna send them. But that's not really what I want. But sometimes it is like, nah, that's what I want.
Right.
God is like, that's not what you need, though. I don't care what you want.
We know that there's a reason why. Like,
right.
I mean, us in particular, there's certain things that God, like you were talking about your book, there's certain things that God has called us to, and there's certain things that like only like a particular person, and we're using men right now because we're single, but there's only like, there's a particular person, not saying there's just one person that's for us, we're not saying that, but there's a particular person or particular heart that is for us, that's supposed to help support us, that's supposed to help in regards to the purpose that God has put in us and in him and whoever he is.
It's not just us they coming to, like we coming to them too.
Right.
Like, we bringing ourselves, our life, our packages to them.
Right.
And so we want to make sure that we're in the best place we need to be and not rush and not just coming because we're super lonely. Right. Because I think when we are so worried about it, the desire, like I said, isn't bad, but when we're so focused on the desire, then we're not bringing like a content heart in Christ. And I hate the way I say content heart in Christ. We're bringing like desperate for love to the relationship, and those kind of relationships don't last, and we want relationships that last. And it's not just relationships, it's the success. You want to be that world renowned photographer. Like I don't want to go through the process of building it up. I want to be that. I want to be successful. I want to be.
It hurts. It's hard work. Listen, I just want to know. Right. I just had somebody just telling me just the other day. I sat down with this girl and she got my whole life. She was like, "You're just lazy. Like, you want all this stuff. You want to be all these different... You want to be, like, in this particular... You want to be in this particular place. You want to have all this money. You want to have all sorts of kind of stuff. But you're lazy. Like, God can't trust you with this. Like, you want him to give it to you, but he can't trust you with it because right now, you're basing everything off of your feelings. Yeah. You're doing everything off of what you want right now. What is that instant gratification? Like, we want it today. Right. Today.
Right. Like, we can't rush God's schedule, but I do, like, we believe that you can delay it because you're going to go through the process that God said you're going to go through. And if that process is 2 years, but you've been playing around for 4 years, well, you still got 2 more years to go.
Right.
So that's why it's so important. Like, we got to stop playing. But it's human nature, I know, for us to just want, especially American nature, I feel like, for us to want what we want when we want it. Priscilla Shirer, I heard her speak at People's Church at their sisterhood event, and she was just saying how she was in, I guess, a third world country somewhere, and the lady, she said, when you walk into this woman's house, you could feel the presence of God. And it was a shack. And when it rained, they just had to live in mud because the floor was dirt. Jesus, and so and the lady told Priscilla, she was like, I'm praying for y'all, meaning Americans. She's like, I'm praying for y'all. She said, because y'all are so blessed, but all y'all pray for is more blessings. Jesus. And that's kind of just how our mentality is. Like, even though we are blessed where we are, we're blessed to be able to have this free relationship to seek after Christ in America that a lot of countries don't have. Right. We can spend time getting to know him, really getting to know him. And we have that freedom where these other people, they have to sneak and all these other kind of things. And they really, really, really have to rely on God for food. They really have to rely on God for everything, where we have medicine and doctors where they're in places where they don't get a miracle. It's not going to happen. But because we have that, we get selfish. And we want God. We want to be God's God. We want him to be our genie. And him to do what we say, when we say it, how we say it, or he don't love us, right? But that's just, and that's another reason relationships is failing. Because people want people to love how they love according to their terms, when they want it, how they want it. No one's willing to put in the work and the sacrifice. And these are things that we just need to learn, and we do have to practice our patience and have peace. And being patient is not just waiting, because sometimes that is not patience. Like, come on, Lord, come on, you're gonna do it. I know you're gonna do it. Patience is going out here and doing what you're supposed to be doing, letting God work in you, walking in your purpose, while you wait. And this is what I always say, that whether or not God ever does those, I put those words together, does those things we've been asking for, he's still worthy of our praise and our worship and our obedience. And we try to act like our obedience is only
based off of what we get.
Yeah, I'm only going to be obedient if I'm going to get what I want out of this.
I would do this, you're going to reward me with a cookie.
Yeah, and we're oh my gosh, that's so good. We are living off a rewards based system with God. And I know I had to check myself over this last few months, actually, because we talked about this too. I had let disappointing things that had happened, getting fired and all this kind of stuff, make me feel like God wasn't being good to me. You know, like I had let it, like, and I had felt really, my spirit, my heart just felt broken and disappointed in God. And I really, even though things happened and they are disappointing things, I just don't want to be disappointed in God, because I don't want to only love God and appreciate God when it feels good. Like, and when I'm getting my way and things are popping and good. So even before I got this new job, all these other kind of things, I had to check my heart. Like, are you serving God for his hand? Are you serving him for his heart? Like, where are you seeking him and serving him from? And I really had to check myself on that.
The whole purpose of just this chat on video, and then also just with our chat and chat that we're coming up to, is that basically our obedience is not, like you're talking about, is not tied to rewards. Our obedience is not, or not even just obedience, but the whole process and for our lives and for our purpose, it's not tied to really getting anything. Like the whole point of it is that it's for God's glory. The whole point of it is that we were created, we were put here for a particular purpose, and everything that we do, every choice that we make, everything, every person that's in our life, every person that walks out of our life, like everything, like it all works together. So like we can't, if God says, if we're trusting God, if you are a believer in God and you are trusting God with what's best for you, you know, like, I know, we'll just bring it back to me, I know that the man in particular that he has, that is his best for me, like this man is going to be tied into my purpose somehow, some way. And not only going to be tied into it, but he's going to accelerate it, or he's going to make it that much better. When you're eating right, like, even though I want Taco Bueno, or I want, like, you know, all these fast foods or different stuff like that, like, I may want that right now, but I also want to be healthy, and I want to live here long, and I want to be here for my kids, and I say kids. Future. Let me prophesy. I only got one, but I'm prophesying over my life. But I want to be there for my future children and my child now, and I want to be there, you know, to be able to do this purpose, because that's going to take being fit too. Like having to travel places. Like, we plan on traveling, like all around the world, so we don't want to get sick all the time. Like, we have to be tired. We have to be in a healthy
what I want to wear.
That too. I want to kill it on stage with my outfit and speaking too, but like you have to be in a certain space. So if I want that, then I have to say no to eating those things that I want right now. I need to change sometimes the things that I'm wanting. I think sometimes we don't really look at that part of the process, that God is, like, when he's withholding some things, not that he's withholding, like, you know, to be mean, but he's withholding some things because he's trying to change the things that I want. Like the children of Israel, whenever they were going in the wilderness, like, they wanted to go back and they wanted to eat the foods that were back in Egypt. Like, we want, I don't know, leeks and all that kind of, onions and stuff like that. They're like, you know, we want this. And God was taking them through this journey, and he was giving them another food, but heaven, that's a whole nother subject. But he was trying to change their taste for things.
Yeah.
He was trying to shift their mindsets to wanting the new that he had for them. And so sometimes that takes withholding some things. Like when you go through a cleanse, sometimes you can't eat certain stuff while you're going through a cleanse. You have to eat certain things and put certain things in your body and withhold yourself from eating certain things so that your body can actually cleanse itself out.
Discipline is not punishment.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Obedience is not punishment. It's getting you to
that's
that's not punishment. Like that's not. It's not to punish you. It's not to make you suffer. But you may have to suffer a little bit. Not really suffer, but sacrifice. You may have to sacrifice to get to what you really want, because in the end thing is greater. Like really having abs and being able to wear what I want is much better than almond M&Ms. Like it's so much better.
Are they made with almonds?
My mom had some. No, they have peanut M&Ms and they have almond M&Ms.
Oh,
and those, when I tell you those almond ones was so good. I tasted them right before I started. Yeah, I tasted them right before. But that's what I keep telling myself. Like my goals are greater than those right now desires. The things that I've been wanting and that I want long term, those are better. So if I could leave y'all with keys on how to get over I want it though. Like first focus on God, serve God, do what you're supposed to be doing, focus on purpose, and then check yourself. When you see that your feelings are like getting frustrated, getting disappointed, getting lazy, procrastinating on doing things that you know you're supposed to be doing, check yourself, check your heart. Make sure that you're lined up, heart to heart connected with God, because when we can just let one little thing in and be like, well, I'm not really, whatever, I'm going to let this one thing in. It turns into like a mile. It turns into like an ocean of issues. So don't let the one little thing is. We have to make like our desire for God and his purpose and the things that he wants for us, we have to make that the greatest desire in our life. And that doesn't just happen. You just don't start. You have to do what you need to do. You have to spend time with God. You have to focus. You have to be intentional. That's the word I was looking for. You have to be intentional on making that desire come, because in this body, in this world, we're going to desire all kind of things. And God really might be, even though he's the thing that we really want underneath that, because he's the whole inside of us that needs to be filled, we're going to replace it with all kind of things if we're not intentional.
Make those things that you're waiting for, or the things that you're waiting for God to be able to give to you, make those things visual. Like keep those visual things in front of you. Like your goals, write down who you want to be, what what is it that you want to be, write down the action steps to be able to do that. What is it that you need to be doing every single day to keep your mind on that? Like keep those things visual and in front of you, so that way like you're able to see like what it is that you're going for, and you're able to remind yourself what makes it worth it to not go for what's in front of you today. All right, ladies, so make sure that you follow us on Instagram at Fierce Faith Fab 1, and you can also find us on YouTube searching Fierce Faithful Fabulous.
Yes, and we're going to continue this conversation about wanting what you want when you want it at our Chat and Chai this month, which is happening on September 23rd at 5 p.m. at All About You on Western. All right, so y'all make sure to join us, and we'll see y'all there.
See you there. Bye.
You know you're a queen. You're better than that, beautiful and unique. Open up your eyes, baby, know and believe. You were meant to shine supernaturally.
All right, ladies, so let's continue this chat for this month. Hey, what am I going to say? Hey. All right.
Just say, let's continue.
I know what I need to say. Thank you. I don't know what I need to say.